Doc Rock. Join me at the top. Good, I would say morning. Some places it's morning. Some places it's noon because we have people watching from around the country and around the world. Have some in London. So, hey, how you doing? I'm Dr. Caracas Watkins, better known as Doc Rock. And I'm telling you, no matter what's going on, we are here to encourage you. We're here to talk about power skills today and just learn from one another in a sense. Okay, and I'm excited about this. We get the opportunity to teach leadership around the world and get the opportunity to demonstrate leadership at Ability Plus, where I'm the CEO. And, you know, we are all going through COVID-19. There are some challenging times. There are some disappointments. There's fear out there. All those things. And we recognize that, and we pray for those who are suffering in any way, whether it's physically, whether it's from a financial point of view, or whatever it is, that things will be better in their life and in your life. But today, I do want to encourage you that there are some skills that we need in order to be successful, because we do have a future. Your company, you as a person, there are great things that are on the horizon for you, and it's going to work out. It's absolutely going to work out, you know. But we got to trust that. We got to trust that system to go forward. So I'm excited to be in your office today, in your home today, your car, or wherever you may be. Now, if you're in your car, I need you just to listen to me and not look at me. Not that I'm something to look at or whatever, but I want you to keep your eyes on the road. But I do want you to hear what we are saying, so maybe we can grow together and we can be better. Here's the deal: greatness is in everyone that's listening to me now. Greatness is in you. It's going to take some work to get it out of you. And you got to challenge your mind, got to challenge the confidence that you have. I want to give you a story right quick. Many of you know I graduated from GMI Engineering and Management Institute, now known as Kettering University. It was a great engineering school and management school and doing well right there in Flint, Michigan. Well, I was challenged one time about my confidence, which is a power skill, which we're not going to necessarily talk about today, but I want to tell you this story. And he's my roommate. His name was Michael Harris, and he's a friend of me to me right now today. And he challenged me because he said, "You speaking to people, but do you believe what you're saying? Do you?" And I was speaking on some things for his people with faith, with Christianity, things of that nature. And he said, you know, you should be doing better than what you're doing. I was making high B's and engineering school and some low A's, and he absolutely challenged me that I'll never forget on a Sunday morning. And I started thinking, well, do I believe in what I'm saying? And I started believing in what I was saying fully. My grades went up to high A's. The rest is history. You know, wrote a thesis that's confidential with General Motors, all this kind of thing. Okay, no glory to me. I'm just trying to say that you have the ability to do much better and go further than you are right now. You may be doing good right now, and that's great. Good, that's awesome, okay? Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. So we want you to be the best you can be. So today I want to talk about mastering your power skills. Mastering your power skills. Now this word power skills, we just call it soft skills. But the president of Dartmouth University, Philip Halland, came up with this word power skills. This Ivy League college professor started calling it power skills. And I like power skills. You know, soft skills sometimes it's kind of like soft, mushy, you don't need these. But we actually do. We need these power skills because it is what separates us in a very competitive global market. You know, and these skills can be practiced, they can be developed, they can be enhanced, they can be refined. So it's not like if you're not born with them, then you doom and gloom. It's over for you. That's not the case, okay? You can develop these power skills. Some of them that I've mastered today that I was horrible at years ago. I mean, I was just terrible. And you can be very, very smart, but it's not necessarily your IQ that determines your success. It's your EQ. And we know that. We know that your IQ, about 20% of your success, the psychologists have assessed this, about 20% of your success is based on your IQ. The other is based, the other 80% mostly is based on your EQ, your emotional intelligence. It is absolutely proven that about 80%, some say 85%, of a person's success is totally based on their attitude, how they handle things, how they see things, how things go on. And so emotional intelligence is a power skill. We're not going to talk about that necessarily today. We're just going to mention that. We do a whole seminar on emotional intelligence. We certified with that with Talent Smart, Travis Bradberry. But you need to have that. Supreme Court Justice Holmes in 1930s met FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and after he became president. And they asked Supreme Court Justice Holmes, what do you think about him? And he said, well, second-class intellect. Then he said, first-class temperament, meaning that he was first class in his emotional intelligence. And we know what FDR went on to do compared to some other, presidents, let's say President Nixon, who probably would beat FDR on a IQ test every day. But look at the two and what happened. Your emotional intelligence is very, very important for you to be successful, for you to go forward. So these power skills are not something we just throw around. It's not just something we say, okay, they're good to have. They literally separate you from the pack in order for you to be successful in your personal life, in the life of a corporation you work for, or being an entrepreneur, or whatever it may be that you're doing in life, okay? And so it's very important that we start to master them. And you can. You're going to take some work, okay? But guess what? Work is not a bad thing. Most people miss opportunities because they come dressed in overalls. It looks too much like work. But work is fine, okay? Opportunities rest in work. So the first one we want to talk about today is problem solving. Now let me say this. We're in the midst of some tough times. We got some series of events going on today, okay, that's affecting us, okay? E, which is events, plus R equals O. And I put this up almost every time I teach because, you cannot change events in life. Can't change them, okay? We can cope with COVID-19, but we couldn't stop it, right? Can't, events. So events going to happen, but what is your response to those events, which determines the results you get? Always for outcomes, the results you get in life. And so the deal is that your responses, they are based solely on your power skills. You respond in life based on your degree, your maturity, how you have mastered problems, how you have mastered, power skills. We want to talk about problem solving, but how you have mastered power skills in your life. And some people don't think about it. And some of you are good at things just kind of naturally, okay? You're doing pretty good, but you can do, we all can do better, okay? Now, so let's talk about this problem solving skill, which this skill helps you determine the source of a problem and to find an effective solution. And we're going to have problems. You're going to have things that come up. But how we solve them, that it is literally a skill that you can possess, okay, that you can refine, okay, and be better at for you to go to the next place, So the deal is, we have difficult situations in front of us. Here in our world, at Ability Plus and the other companies that I'm involved in, there are serious problems that's going on, right? So how do we solve them? What do we do? Do we roll over? Do we give up? Do we say forget it? Do we throw in the towel? What do we do in those times are very, very important because we have some serious complex business challenges that's out there that can be solved. Innovation generally happens in times of stress. I tell people all the time, you are who you are, okay, under pressure. You're not who you are when things are going well. Most of us can do good when things are well. It's when things are tough, when it's hot in the kitchen, as I want to say, when you don't have the answer readily in front of you. What do you do at that time, friend? You're my friend. We're in this together. In Huntsville, we've been saying we're in this together, 6 feet apart. As we're doing physical distancing. Some say social, but I like to say physical because I still want to socially interact with you via, Zoom or via YouTube or whatever it may be. Let's talk about 5 basic steps in problem solving. So talking about problem solving, there's 5 basic steps that I learned in problem solving. We call this ideal. Okay. So let's talk about this a little bit, and maybe it'll make some sense to us as we go. And the I stands for identify. Okay, now if I spell something wrong, there's no spell check on this board right now. Okay, I made real good grades in mathematics and engineering school and doctor and all, but I can't spell worth a lick, I tell you. But hey, it's all good. So this ideal model of problem solving, number one is identify. Okay. Identify. Let's identify the problem. Sometimes we're looking at the symptoms, but we got to find out the problems. What is the problem that's going on? All right. So we got to identify the problem. Then the D stands for define. Then we got to bring definition to. That problem. Okay. And look at it from all angles and define it, because many times we'll let the problem define, or others outside the problem define what it is, and so we chasing rabbits and we doing things we shouldn't do. The next thing is examine. Let's examine it, see what's going on, a thorough look at it, okay? So we can go forward and solving it. Most people think hard problems can't be solved. But if you really think about it in your life personally, in business, how many times you was up against something that you thought was going to take you out? You thought it was going to destroy you, destroy your business, destroy your future, destroy your dreams, okay? But when the pressure came, you rose up to the occasion, all right? And you solved it. So you can solve it. You got to identify, you got to define, you got to examine. And then the next thing you got to do, you got to act. It does us no good to examine a problem, identify the problem, okay, and not to act upon that problem. You have to act upon that problem. Act upon it, okay? See what's going on, okay, with it. Put the things that you put in place, okay, move on it. Listen, you won't bat 1,000. Excuse me, okay? You won't make 100 on it every time. There will be some failure. Now remember, this. Failure is part of the equation of success. So go ahead and fail. But as Michael Dale said, fail fast. I tell people fail in focus, okay? When you fail, be focused on where you're going. And then the next thing you got is look. Now what I mean by look, keep assessing. What else can you do? What else do you need to change? Okay, these are things that are very important in order for you to solve some problems that's going on. It's very, very important for you to do that, and you can. And we have to go through those steps. And some of you say, well, Doc Rock, I already know these things. I know. I'm just trying to remind you today and encourage you, hey, let's keep doing them so we can be better. Even in the midst of this, okay, some of the companies and what I'm working with, doing better. My goodness, it's actually getting better. Why? Because now we are forcing ourselves to do things in a different way to solve problems, okay, that's in front of our face, okay, and we are being innovative. We are absolutely doing it. And guess what? I'm sure you are too. And I'm sure we're going to keep doing it and keep going forward with it. And that's very important. So that's what we have to do. Now, I do want to hit on 6 key problem-solving skills. There's some problem-solving skills. And I'm going to write those down, but I want you to listen to me. There's some problem-solving skills, 6 of them that I just want to mention to you right quick. We do this in a whole seminar. It takes a few hours, but I just want to give you some things today that will help you in a few nuggets, okay, today that will push you over that finish line or push you toward their goal, all right? So 6 key problem-solving skills. Number 1 is research. Do your research. All right, you got to do your research. Very, very important that you do your research. Okay, number 2, active listening. Active listening. You got to analyze what's going on. Years ago, I would talk a whole lot, but I wouldn't listen a whole lot. Great leaders listen. Great leaders ask questions. So you got to actively listen and see what's going on. Not okay, and be open minded in doing it. The third skill is creativity. Allow those creative genes to start to move. Be creative. Get outside the box. Get outside the place of apathy. Get out, the little man that's sitting on the ledge outside the box. I have that on my desk because you got to think outside the box. Okay, the fourth key problem solving skill is communication. Oh my goodness, communication. And you know that half of your communication, at least half of communication, is non-verbal. Okay, communication. Here's the problem with communication, and communication is actually a power skill by itself as well. But the problem with communication is we think we did it. We think we did it. And I tell people, when you think that you communicated, okay, say to yourself, I didn't, and communicate again. And go and get to the small rocks, as I want to call it. Okay, communication is very important. Then the fifth one is decision making. Decision making. When you solving a problem, you got to make a decision, and it is said, and people have done research on it, that people who make decisions are more successful. People who make decisions, in proper timing. You need 80% of information to make a decision. If you're waiting on 100%, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be too late. Okay, you should have did it yesterday. That decision should have been made 2 weeks ago. You have to make a decision and go on your experience, go on the information, go on your maturity as a leader, and make that decision, and success will come your way. I'm telling you that. And then the last key to this is team building. You're going to solve problem solving skills is team building. You have to build a team. You have to be able to rely on your team. I rely on my team. I tell people all the time, a good leader is one that build other people up, and don't have to micromanage. Now, there are times we have to go deep. There are times you have to micromanage in certain situations. But if you are micromanaging in everything, then you're not building a proper team. I tell people, hey, this is what we hired you for. So if I got to do what I hired you for, then we need to save some money on overhead and salary and let you go, right? Come on. And we don't want to do that. But what we need to do is trust our team. And here's the deal. They're going to make mistakes. They may not do it just like you would do it. They will have to mature in some things, as I am and you are, and we all are maturing. We all growing. All of us. We going from one level to the next level. So we have to give space for them to make those decisions. But we got to build that team, and when we build a effective, cohesive team, and I love. Patrick Lenciano, who talks about team building, one of my favorite authors, and we have to do that. We have to build an effective, cohesive team, that we get things done. And we've done that over the years, and I'm proud to say that because it's never about one person, one woman, one man. It's about the team we build, and we solve problems together. There's safety in a multitude of counselors. There's safety in people talking together. So that's very important. Now, the next power skill that we want to talk about is productivity. Productivity. You say, whoa, productivity, what is that? So productivity skills allow you to become less stressed, more efficient. Thus, you become a more successful individual. And so productivity skills mean that you're going to be productive. Remember, E plus R equals O. You're looking for an outcome. We're looking for positive results. You look for positive results in your life. You look for positive results in what you are doing, and you can do it. Oh my goodness! I know I'm not with you right now, but give me just a virtual high five. Loosen up a little bit, and bam, yeah, you can do it. Yes, greatness is in your company. Greatness is in you as an individual. But you're gonna take some more production. It really is. Now, let's talk about enhancing your productivity skills. What it allows. When you enhance your productivity skills, when you enhance those productivity skills, some things happen. Number one is you manage your time and you stay focused to meet deadlines. When you enhance these productivity skills, you're going to be more productive. It's going to be in your mind. It's going to be something you're doing, You manage your time better. You meet your deadlines. And some of you have deadlines. I have deadlines. But you will meet them when you have this in the back of your mind. Number two is you develop a project plan that includes your goals, your requirements, and resources. Okay, when you got production, there's a plan. And I tell people, if it's a plan, it should be wrote down. Okay, your goals, the resources you need, the requirements to get there should be wrote down. Then you're able to you're able to balance simultaneously projects and shifting and priorities. I tell people we're in a very agile world. We shifting priorities. Things are changing even every day, even in our world, your world, around the world, right? Things are happening, they're shifting. And so you got to be able to shift, okay? And when you got productivity, power skill going, and you have production in mind and results that have integrity with it, okay? Not beating people up, not going underneath the table, but really having integrity, then you will see you're able to shift things and balance our priorities even better. And then the last thing is, when you enhance your productivity skill, it allows you to identify factors that block productivity, and then figure out how to address them. How do you address them? So, because sometimes we have to figure out what is stopping us versus how are we going. No, what is stopping us? What is blocking us? What are some things out there that's a threat? You know, you ever did a SWOT, analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunity, threats? What are those threats out there? So when you understand these productivity power skills, when you understand that, then you understand a SWOT better. Okay, you understand that there are some threats out there that somebody want to take out your company or you or whomever, but when you understand productivity and enhance those, then you understand those threats and you identify with them more. All right. So now let's talk about 4 skills to increase your productivity. Now, how do you increase that? Do you want to increase your productivity? Do you want to be better? Do you want to go further? Do you want your company, okay, to rise up? You as an individual, how do you increase your productivity? I used to be an engineer for General Motors, and I was over the rack and pinion line at one time at Saginaw, Decatur. And listen, when that line was down, about $12,000 a minute that's out the door. And, we had quotas, we had productivity. Some of you working in production around here, so productivity is important in many, many ways, right? So it's always in the back of my mind. So one skill, we're talking about 4 skills. Number 1 is focus. You got to be focused, okay? You got to keep your eyes on what you're doing. Focus on the results. Focus on where you want to go. You got to be focused. Very, very important that you're focused, all right? Number 2, commit to decisions. Commit to decisions. There's some decisions that you make that you got to be committed to. It's going to challenge you. You're going to second guess yourself. Anybody ever second guess themselves besides me? You're going to second guess yourself, but you got to commit to that decision. That's a decision. Listen, this will help you in this productivity power skill that we're talking about right now. So commit to decisions. Many times we waffle. Maybe not. Did I do what's right? And you're going to have that. Those things are going to come to your mind. But you got to diffuse them and just get rid of that and say, I'm committed to walk while I'm walking. Now, once you commit and you see that it's absolutely not happening, it's not working, you on a path of destruction, then yes, you may have to change that, okay? But not until. Number 3 is time management. Listen, we're talking about 4 skills to increase your productivity. Time management. Time is one of the only things that you can't buy more of. Time is very important. I tell people you can have $1 billion, but if you do not take care of time, you can't buy any more back. If I wasted time yesterday, I can't get it back. Now I can work double today, but working double the time today do not make up for the time I blew on yesterday. So you have to really, really get focused on time management and set priorities. Okay, what is important? A things are very important. B things, okay. A things are extreme. You got to get them done. B things are important, but maybe. C things is okay. I would like to do it. D things is if you never do it, it will never affect you. And we got to be very careful that we're not spending a lot of our time on D and C items. Your time need to be spent on A items and B items first. And we all know this, but we just have to remind ourselves, as I remind you today, I remind myself, because we have things we want to get done, but these are skills, part of our power skills, that's going to separate us from the pack, that's going to allow us to walk into the place of success that we know we have dreamed about, we want, and we see others who are experiencing it. The fourth skill to increase your productivity is stress management. Whew. You got to relax. You got to relax. Now, here's the deal. Somebody said, well, Doc, man, you always wired up. I am, be honest with you. But there are times that I let it go to stress. I walk around our building. I go fishing. I read my favorite book. I put on some encouraging words. I play. I love jazz. I put on, some Najee or Kenny G or somebody, and just listen, or whatever it may be. But you have to remove the stress, because stress will cause you not to make proper decisions, and it'll cause you not to be productive. So these productive skills, you need. You got to get stressed. And we're in a time of stress. People stress out. I see it. So do what you have to do to relieve yourself of that. And you know how you function. You know how your body functions, how your mind functions. So it's very important that you relieve yourself of the stress. I hope you're getting some out of this. We got about 10 more minutes or so, and we're going to let you go. And I just want to give you a snippet of these things that we teach sometimes, but I think it'll help you to be better. It'll help you to lead better. It'll help you and those who are on your team. I'm all about the team, guys. I'm all about the team, because it takes a team in order for us to do what we do. And most people that I know, and many of my mentors in this area, they're about the team. So I hope this is helping you and your team. Now, the last power skill we want to talk about is critical thinking. Critical thinking. Now, this is the objective. Critical thinking is the objective analysis and evaluation of an issue in order to form a judgment. Critical thinking is you evaluate it and you're going to form a judgment so you can make a decision. So if you're going to be a good critical thinker, you're going to draw from information. You're going to draw from what people say. You're going to draw from experience. You're not going to just react. Critical thinkers don't react, they respond. They respond, okay? Now, I've told you a few stories. Dr. Martin Luther King was a serious critical thinker. I was reading about him, and they were saying that how everybody would go around the room and just start talking and what need to happen and what's going on and these type things. And he would just say nothing. Take all the information, and then let's make a decision. So many times we are quick, I know I have been, to be very vulnerable in the past, to just make a decision. But critical thinkers take information. You're not going to get 100% of the information. You're probably going to get about 80% of the information. But you take that 80%, okay, and you do some analysis on it, okay, of what needs to happen in order for you to make the right decision. And you got to be critical. The word critical is there for a reason. It's not casual thinking. It's critical thinking. And sometimes you're going to make some people on your team uneasy. Matter of fact, you're going to make yourself uneasy. We as critical thinkers, we must get outside of our vantage point, how we have assessed everything. If you're going to be a critical thinker, the decisions has to be made not in a vacuum, but you have to walk and have empathy, and you have to walk in other people's shoes. We're going to talk about that just a little bit. You have to walk in other people's shoes. It's so important that you do that, so you can see different vantage points, because we all have blind spots. And so critical thinkers are people who invite others in to give them information that they can't see. It helps them in their blind spots. And we all have blind spots. But here's the deal. When you are a critical thinker, you allow others to help give you sight in your blind spots. And it's okay. It's all right. See, never be the person Never be the person that's saying, okay, I know it all. No, no. Because when we do that, we do not allow critique. To be honest, if you don't work on this, I was just sharing this with one of our executive vice presidents earlier, is that most decisions and thinking that people do is based on how they was brought up. It's based on their vantage point. It's based on how they saw their parents and others in their environment make decisions. But you have to challenge your self-concept. So let me talk about you just for a second. So self-concept is not something I come up with. It's psychologists come up with in the 70s. It is based on your attitude. It's based on your morals, your beliefs, you see, because attitude controls 85% of your performance. Positive PMA, as Brian Tracy talk about, positive mental attitude. So when you're thinking and you're making critical decisions, you got to check your self-concept. And inside self-concept, okay, is self-image. Because how you see yourself many times will determine how you make decisions, how you think. How do you see you? See, because it's not how others see you, it's how do you see you. Now, you may see this African-American guy talking to you with his big bald head, you can't see my feet, but they big feet, but I see this handsome guy. But how do you see you, right? How do you see yourself? That is very important, because your image, okay, how you see yourself, okay, and how you think about yourself, which is self-image, how you see and think about yourself, determines how you make critical decisions, how you think about what is possible. Because here's the deal. You and I must say what's possible and not what is impossible. Many people would say what's impossible, but you got to say what is possible, okay? And this comes from your self-image. And then also under this thing called self-concept is self-esteem. How do you feel about yourself? Because if you don't feel good about you, you won't feel good about doing or thinking, okay, about something that's going to challenge you. You got to feel good, okay? Now, here's the deal. We have 65,000 thoughts a day, approximately. 80 to 90% of those thoughts are negative, okay? Our feelings come from that. So you cannot get caught up in bad feelings. When it comes time to critically think about a situation that's involving you personally or your business, you're going to be very passive and even back up on making a decision that's maybe not popular. Because if your self-esteem, how you feel about you, is not high, then you will let other people, I don't be harsh today, but you'll let them control you a little bit. And we all have did that before, right? We let others control us because we didn't feel good, or we didn't see ourselves as being the person that we need to see. That's important that your self-concept gets to another level. Now, here's the deal. It is proven you cannot manage, lead, live above your self-concept. So, and then self-ideal is part of self-concept. How does a winner look? Someone who wins. How does that look to you? How does it look to you in your company? Who is a winner? Can you name a person? Can you identify that? Can you define what it means to win? Because if you have made that low, if your standard is low, then your decision to make critical decisions will be low. Whether you're an Alabama fan, Auburn fan, whether you Ohio State, whether you whatever you are in the world, okay. Let me use Nick Saban for a second. Winning to Nick Saban is championship. It's winning it all. SEC championship is pretty cool, but we want to win it all. Okay, so the decisions that are made are very critical that others may judge and not understand. But this is our standard. Your self-concept is your standard of how you're going to do something. So we have to raise our standard up. Okay, mean our self-concept is raised so we can do things at a greater level. And you can do it. Listen, you absolutely can do it. It's very, very important. When we first started here, we were not internationally certified. But our COO come and say, hey, we need to do some things. I think we can do this. We brought things together. Hey, we pushed ourselves beyond normal. Okay, we brought our self-concept to say we're good, but we want to be a great company. And guess what? And once we push that self-concept up, then everything else, our actions and how we thought and how critical we were on our business came up to that place as well. Now, are we perfect? No. Are we perfect in our leadership development, business development company, consulting company? No. We all, but our self-concept is high, so we are striving to make decisions from a critical standpoint that will get us to the place that we want to be, that we can help more people. And I'm sure you do too. I'm sure you want that as well, but you got to push it and thrive and go for it. So let me talk about 5 important critical thinking skills. 5 important critical thinking skills. And then I'm going to let you go get some lunch. Maybe you're eating lunch right now. Number 1 is analysis. You got to analyze. Very important that you analyze and make proper analysis. And listen, not come up with what you want. How many times we come up with what we want? This is what I want to do. This is how I see it. No preconceive. Nothing preconceived. Just open-mindedly analyze what's going on, okay, to see it. Then you got to do inductive and deductive reasoning. Okay? You got to look at it from 2 different vantage points. Very, very important to do this. Okay? All right? You got to see it. You got to see it from both angles. And most time we're looking at one angle. That doesn't work. Okay? Because you're trying to get to the core. And when we do this in other seminars, we'll go into all the definitions and what all that is. We don't have time today. But you got to look at it from an inductive point of view and a deductive point of view. Okay? Why? Because it brings balance. It brings balance to your thinking. Because here's the deal. Sometimes you make decisions that some of them change the very course of where you're going, the very course of the vision. And by the way, vision, which I didn't get into, is a serious critical skill that you can have to motivate people and push them to believe in something, okay, to get something done. But anyway, that's another teaching. The third critical thinking skill that you need is emotional intelligence. I hit on that a little bit, okay, and we do a whole seminar on that. But let me tell you something. Emotional intelligence, let me break it down right quick, is your ability to assess yourself, your emotions, in order to adapt and work with other people and how they are seeing things. You have, listen, if you're going to make critical decisions, you have to be self-aware. Self-awareness is so important for us. You got to be self-aware, know who you are, and then you have to use some self-management so you manage you. You manage you. Your emotional intelligence will separate you absolutely from everyone else. It really will. As we talk about FDR, that's what happened. So it's very important that you start to be aware of you. Now, quickly, give me a few more minutes, and I'm gonna let you go get that lunch. All right. So you have self-awareness here. You have self-management. You have social awareness. Then you have relationship or relational. I say relationship, relational management here. You may can't read that, but that's what self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship management. Okay, those are the 4 quadrants. And then we also can say self-motivation, which is on the side over here when it comes to emotional intelligence. Okay, so once you deal with you and then manage you, then you deal with other people socially. Right now, we're dealing with people socially in a different way. We're doing things over YouTube and Zoom and many other platforms that are out there, Facebook, okay, interacting in a different way. What are you going to do? how you going to master this? Because how you see this is how you going to make decisions, being a critical thinker. And then relationship management, bringing all those things together in order to make a decision. Because we can't go by just on feelings. We have to go on what's really going on. Okay, what triggered you? All right. Or no, how do I become better at this? How do I manage myself better? How, what is the vision? What do I need to do on a daily basis in order for me, okay, to achieve my goals in life? Those things are very important, but it's going to take work. Now, I won't stand here and tell you that this is easy, but I will tell you this: it's possible, and you can do it. You can master problem solving, productivity, and critical thinking where we're at now, if you want to. Fourth thing, talking about 5 important critical thinking skills. Number 4 is open-mindedness. Open-mindedness. You got to have an open mind. If you close-minded, you're not going to make it. You got to be open-minded. So many things have come by people just thinking outside the box. Just like, okay, whatever it is, we can do it. Let's try it. He'll be in a meeting and somebody start talking. You like, hey, there's no way in the world that's going to happen. There's no way. And then you start talking. You talk some more. You get clarification. You analyze it. You do all these steps. And then at the end of the meeting, you're like, oh, we're going to do that. That is awesome. And it ends up changing even the course of your company. That can happen when you are open-minded. Okay? And the last thing, and we talked about that earlier, is you got to do a SWOT on yourself. What are your strengths? And the departments you're in your company. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are some opportunities out there right now? There's many opportunities right now. Matter of fact, we are taking advantage of some opportunities right now that we never thought of. I'm sure you are too. There are opportunities right now in the midst of all this going on, okay? Use your power skills, okay? Use your power skills, and you're going to see things and do things you've never done before. What are opportunities? Now, there are some threats out there to you, and you got to assess those threats, but don't get so caught up on just assessing the threats and warding them off that you're not taking advantage of the opportunities. May take work, may take burning the midnight oil, may take building relationships with other resources and people. Okay, you can do that. Go ahead and do that, all right? And then you will see results, and then you'll be able to critically think, and you're not worrying about the other side. Because what happens is, wrapping this up, is that when people start critically thinking and they're not mature in it, they start worrying of some bad outcome. Listen, you're going to miss it from time to time, but if you do this process, I guarantee you that you will make it more times. Majority of the time, you're going to hit it right on the bullseye. I'm telling you this, okay? And I've seen it happen over the length of time we've been doing leadership for over 25 years, okay, around the world, okay, with many different organizations, from ministry to various different companies, okay? Am I an expert? No. Okay, we all are learning, but there are some things we have learned that we use now to be successful and to go forward. And guess what? You as well. So I wanted to encourage you, don't you give up. Use these. Let's master our power skills. And it's several others. And we do, and this is 3, and we talk about the other ones extensively. Even these, we go into greater details in some of our seminars. But master problem solving, productivity, and critical thinking, okay? And you're going to go forward. Hey, I've enjoyed being with you today. I thank you for tuning in. Okay. Hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Doc Rock there. Subscribe to it. We have teachings up all the time. We do private teachings that's not up here, working with different companies now and privatizing and speaking directly to them. So, and then there's a book that we wrote, an ebook, Attitude of Success. Some of you know I was, born 15-year-old and all that, and now doing what we're doing. That'll make me better. Just say, hey, we all can get there. We all can grow. So love to talk to you again, and just keep going forward. Don't you give up. Hey, we have a future. The vision, your strategic plan you have for your company is going to work. But we just got to work it, okay? If you work it, things are going to be great. So, as you know, I always say, no bad days, okay? Bad minute, bad hour, but no bad days. So here's the deal. It's Super Sunday. It's Marvelous Monday. It's Terrific Tuesday. It's Wonderful Wednesday. It's Triumphant Thursday. It's Fantastic Friday. And it's Successful Saturday. I'm Doc Rock. Join me at the top. I'll talk to you all later. Have a great day.